Hey guys, what's up? What's going on? Welcome back to my channel. My name's Jem, here with another pick a card reading for you guys. This one's all about things that you don't know about yourself that will change your life. So if you guys are new to pick a card readings, I'm gonna give you a quick little rundown of how it works. So basically, this is pile number 1, this is pile number 2, this is pile number 3, this is pile number 4, and this is pile number 5. They do look a little different. I decided to be a little bit creative and make them into little fans that kind of blend into each other, since it's kind of resembling that we are all connected on this planet. Literally each and every one of us are more connected than you could ever even imagine. And so, I don't know, this is my creative way of like kind of doing that. So yeah. So you can pause the video if you'd like to take your time to pick which card you like, or wait till I put the crystals on it. But once you're done picking your pile, you can scroll down to the description box or to the comment box to find the timestamp to your specific card reading and skip ahead to your specific card reading. But without further ado, let's pop the crystals on these cards, starting now. All right, so we have some crystals on these cards. This right here is rose quartz, this is rainbow moonstone, this right here is some pyrite, this is lapis lazuli, and this is lepidolite. So take a moment to find out which pile you're the most drawn to. I definitely suggest picking based on your intuition and not what you find the most beautiful, but do whatever works for you and then skip ahead to your timestamp. And without further ado, let's hop right into this pick a card reading, starting now. All right, pile number 1, let's find out things that you don't know about yourself that's going to change you forever. Let's find out what your pile says. All right, so pile number 1, this is what I'm seeing for you guys. We start off here with the 4 of Wands, and so I feel like you are really connected to your family, with the people that are around you in this lifetime, and I feel like you reincarnate with the same people kind of every lifetime, especially when we have this soulmates card right here, and also the devil. The devil is like being chained to something, and so you might notice that there's people in your life that you have some karma that you need to kind of deal with, and this is a repetitive cycle that you almost come into this lifetime. You almost get reborn into your lifetimes in order to clear certain karma with these people, and maybe you keep on making the same mistakes or making the same choices, and that karma never actually kind of dissipates or goes away, and so you keep getting reincarnated with the same people that you might have certain issues with, that you might have certain problems with, that they might hold you back in certain ways, and you need to find your own self-expression and freedom and acceptance of other people as well, and accept people for who they are, and accept yourself for who you are as well. So one thing that you do need to know about yourself is you're totally reincarnating with the same people each and every single lifetime in order to clear this certain karma, especially when we also have that Wheel of Fortune card. The Wheel of Fortune always talks about karma whenever it shows up in a reading, and so this is kind of like repetitive cycles. You keep going on this like repeating cycle, and you might notice that you have certain like knee-jerk reactions to certain people and to handle certain situations, and you might just have an intuitive knowing of like, I just need to handle it this way and this way and this way, but it's actually because you keep doing that same pattern, and so it feels natural to react in certain ways to certain situations and to go along with certain things and let people kind of dictate what you do and let people kind of control how you react to them as well. Or you might also have a control over other people, or you let other people control you a little bit too much. And so what you're needing to learn is to break that cycle. And so don't go with what feels natural. Don't go with what feels normal. Right now you need to break free and go into the feeling of being a little bit uncomfortable in order to break free from this cycle. And so this is kind of like a pattern that you might have within, and you might look at it and think that you're handling it correctly, when the truth is you actually need to do the things that might make you feel a little bit uncomfortable. You really need to stand up for yourself and break free from the chains, break free from the wheel and the cycle. I keep thinking of Game of Thrones when Daenerys says, I don't want to control the wheel, I'm going to break the wheel, something like that. It's kind of a quote like that. So don't be controlled by the wheel. Don't let the wheel keep turning. It's time to break that cycle, break that wheel. And it doesn't mean that you have to break off your relationship with these certain people that are in your life. It just means you need to handle it differently. You need to handle it with love, compassion, from your heart. You should never handle situations in a mean, nasty, fiery way, no matter what the situation is. Always handle it with love, but also love yourself enough as well so that you can be free in yourself and let other people be free too. So it doesn't matter what they do, they're in control of their own life. If they don't learn their lessons, that's fine. As long as you learn it, that's the key. And then you're gonna break that certain cycle. I do also feel you're an empath. And so you might be a person that's like maybe a little bit subjective to people controlling you, just because of the fact that you feel other people's emotions so deeply that you don't wanna hurt other people. You almost don't wanna stand up for yourself out of fear that you're going to hurt somebody in the process of standing up for yourself. And so what you need to do is kind of break this cycle. You need to gain some strength and power, and you need to learn that you can stand up for yourself in a loving and compassionate way and still be loving and compassionate, but also be a strong person that stands up for themselves as well. I do feel like you're a very strong person, though, since you've been able to go through this and put yourself to the side. It does take a strong person to be able to do that. But if you want to break the cycle and have a really peaceful life and peaceful relationships with others, it's time to stand up for yourself while also adding love and compassion to the mix. And then I feel like what's going to happen is you will actually find the core relationship of these people that are in your lives. So you're going to finally realize the love that's there. I feel like you already realize it, but maybe it's just not out in the open quite yet. And so if you want these soulmates that are in your life, and they really are soulmates, and so if you want that relationship to really flourish and blossom and to stop being repetitive and go through these patterns and cycles, you need to break free from those and have compassion and love, and then realize how deep your relationship with these people actually go and the beauty that's actually in those relationships. We also have the card here of Imagine. And so in this, I really think you need to use your mind and the power of your mind and the law of attraction to really get what you want. So look at things a little bit differently. Don't always look at them in the reality that they currently are. You can change that reality by seeing it differently. Everything's based on perception. And so if you see your relationships differently than they are, if you see them for being beautiful and positive and you only look at those aspects, you're going to grow those aspects instead of growing maybe the chains or other kind of like maybe toxic behaviors in those relationships. We also have the card here of Stone People, Vigilance. So the Stone People card also makes me feel like this has been a pattern with these certain people since like the beginning of time, basically the beginning of the human races, when it was way back in the day. And so I feel like you have been with these people for a very long time. You two and all the other relationships that it correlates to in your life have been in your life and lifetimes for quite a while. But also with the Stone People, I also feel like it might be a little bit rigid. It might take a lot of effort in order to change the outcome of these relationships, in order to clear the karma, because everything has been so set in its way. Like a stone, it's been so set for so long that it's hard to reshape. It's hard to do all of that. It's hard to change what it really is. But it is possible, but it just may take quite a bit of vigilance in the process in order to change what it currently is, and to also change yourself as well, because maybe you are so set in your ways and your patterns as well that it might take a little bit of effort to break free from those, but I think it's going to be really amazing for you as well. I'm also getting that you guys have a very strong imagination as well, especially when we do have the imagination card, or the Imagine card, I mean. You guys have such a powerful mind that you guys don't even realize it. You guys are totally using the law of attraction 24/7. You might not even realize it, but you are totally creating your reality. You have a very, very keen, strong intuition and very strong mind. As well with the Queen of Cups, you guys are very psychic people. You might not even realize it, but the things that you imagine, the ideas that you kind of get out of the clouds, out of nowhere, are very powerful, and they can influence you and other people so well. Like your ideas that you get are literally things that nobody else really thinks of, and you get them from the other side, basically. You kind of bring them down from the fourth dimension, even the higher dimensions, and bring them into reality. And everyone else might look at you like you're a little crazy. Maybe you're a person that's really creative and you don't like to really share your ideas very much. Maybe you like to be a little bit more private and you don't like to show off your creative abilities, or you just don't show people your artwork. If you are some type of artist or you like to create things, maybe you don't like to show off your work, but you're actually so incredibly talented that would be a really good thing to do that and to show it off, because you do have that talent. I'm also getting the feeling that you guys might have mediumship abilities. Like you might see and sense spirits that are there, especially when I see the spirit up in the clouds in this card. You guys actually might have a really keen sense of sensing other presences in a room, and you might get the feeling of other people watching you. That's actually real, just so you guys know, and I don't mean to scare you with that, especially if that's something that kind of freaks you out a little bit. I don't mean to scare you with that at all, but I do feel like you're surrounded by angels and guides and you feel their presence, so you don't need to be worried about them, you don't need to be scared about them, but you do have this ability and it is very real. So just so you guys know, whenever you do sense like another person in the room, even when there's not, even when you know that you're alone, you're actually, you have a very strong third eye and sixth sense, so you might actually be having those people around you. We also have the card of natural beauty and authenticity. Be yourself as God made you naturally attractive and lovable inside and out. And so with this card, this is the fluorite card. I do feel like you guys might not even realize how naturally beautiful you are, and that goes on the inside and on the outside. You guys might not even actually see how amazingly beautiful you are. You might judge yourself. You might have a very harsh judgment, especially when we do have the devil card. You might be comparing yourself to others, and it's a little bit of a toxic thing, and then now you don't even realize your own true beauty. And so what you guys should know is that you guys have probably some of the most beautiful souls and faces and bodies out there, but you might be so harsh on yourself that you don't see it. And even me telling you this right now, you may be like, oh my gosh, you're crazy. But trust me, you are such a beautiful person inside and out naturally. You don't even really need to do anything, and other people actually see you as such a beautiful person physically and emotionally and mentally and spiritually. And you guys need to know that. We also have the card here of acceptance from Archangel Anael and Calcite. And this card, I'm kind of getting the vibes like you guys are includers. You like to include other people in conversations. You like to include other people near you. But I also feel like in whatever relationships that you have karmically, it's time to really kind of accept the way that it's been, accept yourself for who you are. I'm also getting a really big vibe of you need to accept yourself. And you need to look within and really start to love yourself. I'm really getting the vibes that you guys need to love yourselves, because I feel like you guys don't understand your own like amazingness, if that makes sense, for lack of a better word. You guys don't even see your own like capabilities and your own like wow factor that's within you guys. I feel like you guys are very impressive people, but you don't even see yourself that way. I feel like you know it on some type of level, but you don't like to flaunt it. You don't like to brag about it. You still feel like mediocre at times, but it's like, no, you guys are like really, really, really amazing, awesome people, and you guys need to know that. So the last, no, we still have quite a few more cards. We still have like 6 more cards. But anyway, these 3 that are sitting over here, we have the card of you're already doing it. Stop overthinking. Keep facing your true north. So if you guys ever worry about what is my life purpose? What is this? What is that? You're actually already doing it. You're already fulfilling that whole entire thing. So you guys don't need to worry about what you are going to be doing in the future or this or that. You're already on the exact right path that you need to be. So stop worrying about what the future is going to hold, and stop worrying about, oh, am I making the right choices? You're already making all the right choices. You're exactly where you need to be, and you guys really need to know that. The next card that we have is Warrior Woman. If you weren't afraid, what would you do? And so I feel like you guys need to bring out your warrior side and really start to see how powerful you guys are, because I feel like you guys have such a powerful, strong heart. You have a strong aura, you have a strong energy, a very powerful presence, but I feel like you guys undermine it. I feel like you guys are so focused on the outer world, you're so focused on other people and what they're feeling that you don't take the time to understand what you're feeling. You don't take the time to understand your own energy and your own impact on this world, and I feel like it's very strong. And so stop being afraid. Don't be afraid to express your emotions. Don't be afraid to express your thoughts, especially if you need to stand up for yourself in any type of way. I feel like you guys really need to embrace that part of yourselves, and that you guys will be as well. Like, you are such a strong warrior on the inside, and I feel like you guys just really need to know that. I keep saying that you guys need to know that, but you guys do need to know all of these different things, and there's very powerful stuff. We also do have the card of the witness. And so I feel like you always witness other people. You're always looking at other people, especially as an empath when we have the Queen of Cups. You guys are such empaths that you witness everyone else's emotions, but you don't really like to reflect and witness your own. And maybe you do at times, but I feel like you undermine a lot of it. So I feel like you really need to witness yourself and your own energy, and you really need to look at yourself for who you truly are, because what you are is a warrior. You're already on the exact same path that you need to be. You have all of these like powerful cards of having such strong intuition, imagination, psychic senses, and you just need to really reflect on how amazing of a person you really already are. All right. last few cards. So we have the Three of Pentacles, the Six of Swords, and the Chariot. And so from these cards, it's so funny because in the Six of Swords, there's the Stonehenge in the background that's really connected to Europe and the UK. I believe the Stonehenge is located in the UK somewhere. And so this is actually a portal to other realms, to other dimensions. And so I feel like you guys also have the ability to astral travel or to portal into hidden occult knowledge that existed hundreds of thousands of years ago, because Stonehenge is actually older than what most people think it is. It's from way, way, way back in the day, like before the Egyptians, probably built by the Atlanteans at the time. So if you guys really look back, I feel like you guys might also be connected to Atlantis, and you're kind of the people that started, you're a really old soul, and you were kind of like the people that started like knowing about the universe and the secrets of the universe, and those got kind of like lost down in the way. But I feel like you guys are going to kind of discover a lot of that this lifetime as well when we have the Chariot card. And so I feel like you guys have like this hidden knowledge like lost beneath you and lost underneath the surface, and you guys can bring it out at any time though with that Queen of Cups. Like you guys can really like reflect within and look within, and your imagination isn't just your imagination, it's reality. And so whatever you guys kind of think about, just know that you're gaining like occult knowledge from your past lives. So that's really intense. That's totally what I'm getting the vibes of there. And with the Three of Pentacles, I feel like you do have some really important people in your life at this time, and I feel like those people are going to help you learn a lot, and you can help other people learn a lot as well. And with that Chariot card, I feel like you guys, you know, you are still so headed in the right direction. The Chariot fits a lot in with the You're Already Doing It card. You are totally headed in the right direction, just so you know. Even if you feel like you're back and forth on a couple of things, that's who you're supposed to be. And so you are the type of person that you're going to be back and forth on a couple of things, but it's because you're supposed to mix two different things that maybe look like, oh, I need to pick one direction, not keep going in all of these different directions. You're going in all these different directions because you're gaining knowledge from here, 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 and here, and here to bring it all in and understand something that nobody else understands yet. Because if you just go in one direction, you're only going to see that path. But if you explore the whole entire forest, you learn so much more and you see so much more. And so you're just that type of person that might be very explorative, and your mind might wander on to all of these different subjects, but it's actually because you take so many different aspects of life and you're going to be able to put them together eventually and see a way bigger picture than anybody else has ever before. And so you guys need to know that about yourself as well, is that you are supposed to be living in these multiple directions, and they all have their purpose. Even if you don't go so far down those certain paths and you change to this and you change to that, you're only just gaining exactly what you need at certain times. So you might return to it later in life and explore it some more, maybe not, but it's actually leading you to where you're supposed to go. Sometimes a path looks like this in order to get to your destination. It doesn't always go in a straight line, and that's totally fine, and you guys need to know that about yourself. You are meant to be that way. You are built to be that way. And so that is what I'm seeing for you, pile number one. All right, moving on to pile number two. Let's find out the things that you don't know about yourself that's going to change you forever. All right, so pile number two. I see you guys as truth seekers. I feel like you guys see the truth behind things, even if you doubt yourself. I feel like you guys, if you're talking to someone, you get this like sense of when someone's being real to you or not. And you're a person who really values the truth behind stuff. And so just so you guys know, if you meet people that you don't feel are truthful, you need to know that your intuition's actually correct. You're very correct on a lot of different things, and you really value truth so much that your honesty is very, very powerful. And I feel like you guys are like the balance keepers, because in the Justice card and in the Temperance card, we have the scales in the Justice, and in the Temperance, it's balancing the two different flow of the water between the two different cups. The two different cups are actually representative of like taking two different things that don't normally mix and mixing them anyway. It's kind of like the alchemist and stuff like that. So you guys also might be really good at problem solving and figuring stuff out, especially when we have the Ace of Swords as well. Anytime that there is a problem, you guys are like the judge and you can see things so well. And so you really need to trust your mind. I feel like your mind is so good at problem solving, and so when you see other people having problems or you see this going on in the universe, you have the answer for it right away, and your answer is very correct. most of the time, if not all of the time. So just so you guys know, like, even if people doubt you at times, your mind is actually on the right track. You're on the right path of knowing things in the way that things should be. I feel like you guys seek justice, and I feel like you guys see what's wrong with the political systems. I feel like you guys see what's wrong in our world and how people go about doing things. You might question a lot of things, and it's actually a beautiful part of yourself. And so your mind is actually so good at this. And even if you doubt yourself at times, or even if people say that, like, oh no, you're just crazy and you're just a rebel and you're just this and that, no, you're actually very correct. So don't worry. Like, your mind is insanely powerful. That's like basically all I can say about that. And I feel like you guys also know the solutions and how the world needs to be. And I feel like your guys' life purpose is kind of figuring out and influencing the world on how it's actually supposed to be, and getting rid of like the old laws and getting rid of the old like ways of doing things, and showing the world like we can just do this and it's gonna work. And people are gonna look at you like, wait, where did you come up with that idea? What? But it's actually something that is gonna work, which is crazy. We also have the card here of peace. And so I feel like you guys, especially with that temperance card, you guys really like to find peace. You don't like to have conflict, even though your guys' lives might be full of some conflict here and there, but it's because you guys are the problem solvers. But you're the problem solvers that create peace out of nowhere. Even when people thought peace couldn't exist in something, even when people thought there was no solution to something, you guys are the people that find it. We also have the card here of to the sea. And so when I see this card, I feel like your guys' ideas and ways of doing things might be totally like things that people would have never even thought of before. They might look at you like you're way off on your own on that one, like what are you talking about? But it's actually like you are the influence that influences the world to be better, even when people don't see yet how that solution could create the peace and create the harmony. You understand it so well, you see it. You are the truth seer. And so that's like incredibly amazing, and like barely anybody has that ability on this planet, but you guys do. We also here have the Green Man of Synergy. And so when I see this card, I feel like you guys understand balance so well. You guys see how to balance things. You guys look at anything and you're just like, well, this needs to go over here. You guys also might be really good at decorating. You guys might be really good at art and stuff like that, because I feel like when you guys like see the balance of certain things, you can kind of walk into a room and be like, well, you should just move this over here and move that over there. It's gonna like bring the room together if you just move around these couple of things. Like this is just too close to that object. It's creating like disharmony, or like with other things in life, you're able to just look at it and be like, you just need to like do this. You guys also might be really good at math. You guys also might be really good in nature as well, because this is a card full of nature. But I also feel like you guys are so connected with the balance and harmony of this world that you're able to channel that energy everywhere that you go. And I feel like your presence really helps balance people out. When you're in a room with a bunch of people, all of a sudden those people feel calm. You also might notice that people come up to you and start telling you their life story out of nowhere, but it's because they feel like some kind of like calmness around you. They feel a balance. They feel like it's okay to open up to you. And so you might notice that you offer advice to a lot of people. You're an advice giver, and you need to know that your advice is like what people really do need to hear. You don't bullshit people, which is awesome. We also have the card here of be gentle with yourself, rhodochrosite. You've been through a lot and need time to heal and recover. And so I feel like also another reason why you probably know so much about this is because you've experienced so much. You've had to problem solve in areas of your life where you thought that nothing could be fixed, and you've learned how to do that. I also feel like you guys can end up being a little bit too harsh on yourselves, and what you need to realize is to be less harsh on yourself. And so you guys, since you're such problem solvers, you kind of look at all of the different areas of yourself, and you might be calculating this and that and be like, okay, well, I need to change this, and I need to change that, and I need to change this about myself, and this, and this, and this. And you might see all of your kind of quirks and areas that you need to fix, but you need to be a little bit gentle with yourself. Be patient. Nobody is perfect, and nobody will ever be perfect, and nothing is perfect. But also, all the imperfections make something actually perfect. And I think that's a huge lesson that you guys need to learn, especially for yourself, to not be so critical on yourself. And that way you can succeed and expand in so many ways as well, because you need to accept yourself for who you are. Of course, it's always good to reflect and change and, grow from learning about yourself and from self-reflection, but don't be too harsh on yourself meanwhile. Allow yourself to grow and allow yourself the time and space to make mistakes as well, and don't be so critical if you do make mistakes. We also have the card here of the Untamed, and so you guys, I feel like you guys are indigo children, whoever picked this pile. So you guys might really relate to the definitions of an indigo child, which is somebody who's like a natural rebel. They see the wrongdoings of society. They see how society needs to change, and they really don't like authority figures. So you guys might have like a bit of those qualities as well. I do feel like you guys are an untamed soul, and you like to, you know, maybe cause a mess, but the only reason why you like to cause a mess is because you see something wrong in society. You see the wrongdoings and how society needs to change in order to become better. So the next two cards that we have is Lemuria, creating heaven on earth. It's happening. We also have the card of play, have fun, celebrate, don't be so serious. And so you guys also, you guys have a very serious pile. So you guys are very serious people with the Ace of Swords and with the Justice card right there. You like things to be really serious, and you like to get down into it and like direct to the point. But don't be so serious all the time. Allow yourself to be gentle. Allow yourself to have that little bit of freedom and stuff, because you guys are very calculated. And so what you guys need to become aware of, and what you guys might not see in yourselves, is that you are much too critical on yourself, and much too serious about your life sometimes, and you just need to kind of like let loose and be able to let things flow a little bit more. And then with that Lemuria card, you guys need to know that your whole purpose, you're actually creating heaven on earth by breaking down the systems that, you know, you see as being not so helpful in the long run, and you look at them like, why is this system in place? Why is this law in place? It makes no sense. You guys don't like to be controlled, and that's a really amazing thing, especially when we have that Untamed card. So no one's controlling you, just so you guys know, and that might be an aspect you see about yourself and might not be, but you might realize that there's certain people that maybe you don't really necessarily get along with, and that's because you don't like to be controlled. But you guys are creating that balance on earth, and that is your life purpose. We also have the card here of flow. And so you guys need to learn to go with the flow a little bit better. Don't be too rigid, and don't be too structured, because I feel like you guys are very rigid and structured, whether you guys see it or not. And you need to be able to go with that flow. And then also this card is also suggesting that, you know, and this might seem a little bit like opposite of what I just said, but I'm really getting the message of both, and you just need to find a good balance of both of them. This is why I'm saying like the opposite of what I previously just said. But you guys also need to listen to your intuition and flow. So if you guys get a feeling of like, okay, this structure really needs to change, and you get a very strong urge to say something about it, definitely say it. Go with the flow. Go with the flow of what your intuition's telling you. Sometimes it might get you into trouble, but I'm just warning you guys that, you know, sometimes that might lead to trouble, but go based on your intuition, whether you feel like it's going to be a safe thing to say or not. But I do feel like you guys are here to fulfill your life purpose of telling people like, hey, this is wrong. Like, stop doing that. That's just not how the way that things should be anymore. We also do have the last three cards here. We have the Tower, the Magician, and the Emperor. These are all incredibly powerful cards. These are all major arcana cards. You guys have so many major arcana cards here. It's actually kind of crazy, because we started off with the Justice and the Temperance. Those are two major arcana cards, and then the last three that we have are major arcana cards. So this is kind of intense, guys. You have a very intense life. So we have the Tower right here, which talks about breaking down the structures of life. So you guys might not see that you guys are the rule breakers, the kind of breaker of chains. And so, yeah, totally like Game of Thrones, breaker of rules, breaker of chains, breaker of wheels. So that's what you guys are here for. You're here to inspire that change, and you guys like to cause that change. And you guys might notice that things might go wrong in your life, but it's because you have a bit more of a very harsh, like, not necessarily harsh, but you have a very direct way of saying things, and you're very truthful, and you like that honesty. And so sometimes it might kind of cause a lot of destruction in your life, but that's just who you are. We do also have the card of the Magician, and so you guys are actually very, very powerful people. You have everything in front of you that you need to in order to be successful. Use the law of attraction. You guys are very good at, you know, taking energy from the cosmos and transmuting it down here on Earth as well. But you guys literally have access to all the tools within you in order to be successful, in order to do anything that you want to on this planet. Then we also have the card of the Emperor. And so I feel like you guys are natural leaders, natural rulers of your kingdom. And so just so you guys know, you're probably not going to be somebody who follows anybody. You're untamed, and so no one can tell you to follow somebody, and that's fine. You need to realize that in yourself. If anyone tries to tell you to do something and you just really don't feel it, don't do it, because it's really not who you are. It's not in your nature. It's not in your energy. It probably never will be. And so sure, you guys can change anything, and you guys are like master morphers basically with that magician card. You can become anything, you can become anyone, but your natural, authentic energy and your honesty is being a natural leader and somebody who's not well with structure and law and authority or anything like that. And then so with that Emperor card, I feel like you need to become your own leader and only follow yourself. And just listen to yourself. And so that is what I see for you guys. If you didn't know that about yourself, now you know. If you already kind of knew a little bit about that, hopefully you learned something a little bit new about yourself in this reading. But that's what I'm seeing for you guys, pile number 2. All right, pile number 3, let's find out something you didn't know about yourself and things that you didn't know about yourself that will change you and your life. So let's see. This is so weird. I tried to only pick like 3 tarot cards for everybody, but pile number 1 randomly had 4. This one had 3, and you guys have 5 somehow. Kind of odd. This is weird. But oh well, I guess you guys get 5 tarot cards. All right, pile number 3. I am getting the vibes that you guys are a little bit of a mysterious person, and people have a hard time figuring out when we have this moon card right here, and especially since we have 2 Queen of Wands cards. So I feel like you guys are very spontaneous people. I do feel like you guys do have sentimental value to things. You do hold things close to your heart. When you meet people and people have a big impact for you, you do hold them close to your heart. But I feel like you guys don't really express it that much to people, because you guys have a tendency to move on to different things really quickly, even though you still have love and care for these people and these certain events and these certain things that come across your life. You're very nomadic, and so you like to move on to new things. You're like a seeker, you're an adventure seeker, and you like to look into all sorts of different things, and you just move on really quickly from things, but you also still hold them dear to you. But I feel like other people look at you and they're a little bit like, did they really care about me? They just like totally vanished. They left, and now they're doing this, and they didn't get back to me about this, and all these different sorts of things. So I do feel like you guys are kind of a little bit of a nomad, and I'm kind of getting like, I don't know, a little bit of Gemini vibes or like air sign vibes from you guys, or at least a mutable sign that really likes to change very often. So either that's Sagittarius, Gemini, Virgo, or Pisces. And so I'm getting a little bit of that nomadic type, especially when we have a change in the wind. I feel like you guys really just go with the flow. You go with the wind. And so with that wind card, it's like that's definitely like air sign type of qualities. And so even if you guys aren't any of the signs that I named or an air sign, you guys might have a lot of air in your guys' natal charts in astrology, if you guys know what that is. And so we also do have the card here of Truth Be Told, and the window is open, allowing flowers to kind of like flow out of this card. And that also gives me the quick change in the wind type of vibes, especially when we have that moon card though. Like I said, it's like you guys, no one can figure you guys out. Everyone looks at you and they're like, okay, I cannot pinpoint this person. I can never figure out what their next move is. I can never figure them out. You're very mysterious. So it's also a little bit of Scorpio vibes in there, but I'm getting more like air sign quality vibes from you guys. Especially also with that number 5 right here. The 5s always rule big change, and so I feel like you guys change a lot. With that Queen of Wands, you guys are totally like the inspiring, nomadic freedom. You guys really like your freedom. You guys really appreciate your freedom. You guys need to have that freedom in your life. But what people don't get about you is you actually do care. You actually are like a very giving person, especially when we also have that 6 of Pentacles card that's over here. You guys are totally giving. You guys love people. You guys feel things. We also do have the 5 of Cups, and so when you do move on to new things, you still feel the emotions of like, oh, I really miss that. I really miss this person, and oh, I'm sad to be able to leave that behind, but you also are reluctant to start your new adventure as well. But people usually don't see that because I don't feel like maybe you're as good as of communicating that, and your actions might make people think otherwise. But that's totally fine. It's just who you are. You're a nomadic type and you like to seek things out, and that's totally fine. you like the change, and that makes you a really adventurous person, gaining wisdom and knowledge from many different experiences in life rather than just continuing on the same path. You guys kind of live in an abundance of different areas, which is not a bad thing at all. We also do have the music harmony card, and so I feel like you guys really just go with the flow. You go where like the wind takes you. You go where the music takes you. You kind of just flow on to the next note, and you guys live a very harmonious life. And I feel like you guys only seek harmony. You guys do not like conflict. You guys don't like fights. You guys don't like anger. You're very quick to let go of things and very quick to move on. Also very quick to steer clear of any sort of like confrontation or any sort of arguments. I do feel like you guys only like that peace and tranquility and harmony, and you guys only seek to be around that and around people that give you that and show you that back. Any sort of people that kind of like create conflict or arguments, I feel like you're able to be there, but you're kind of just like, nah. Or if somebody does something, I feel like you're also a very forgiving person because you don't like to hold on to grudges, you don't like to hold on to certain things. And so that's something about yourself that you guys, I feel like, really need to know is this is just the type of person you are. And also you guys need to know that maybe you should let people know how much you care about them, because sometimes people don't know how you're feeling if you don't tell them, and if you move on really quickly, and if you change really quickly, or maybe for you, it's like, well, I still care about this person. I know they care about me, but, you know, I haven't talked to them in like a year. I totally ghosted them or something. Maybe just let them know that you totally really care about them and what an impact they made on your life, if they did, because I feel like a lot of your guys' friends and family might not know how you really feel. Maybe they're a little bit confused because you're such a free person and they love you for that, but give them just a little bit of knowing here and there. We also do have the card of Amber. Give it to God. Take a deep breath, and on the exhale, release the situation to God for healing and answers. And so anytime that you guys don't know anything, I feel like you guys are such seekers and such adventurers because you guys seek to figure stuff out. You seek to know things, or you seek to have certain experiences to feel a certain way, or to know a certain thing, and to just feel free as well. And so anytime that you guys need answers on something, anytime that you guys feel confused about something, I feel like you guys can ask for signs based on where you're going. And I feel like you guys can ask for certain messages, and as you're traveling, you might notice certain things as well. You might notice that spirit talks to you in certain ways and shows you certain things as well. So definitely listen to certain messages in the wind, especially in the wind. These two cards correlate so much, and they look so similar with the wind flowing and showing that quick like brush and gust of air. The next card we have here is Revelation. And so I feel like you guys will are kind of the people that come across like really big ideas out of the blue and out of nowhere, literally out of nowhere, and we have that moon card. But it's also like you guys have a very strong intuition. You guys are very connected to the divine, and you're able to get like downloads and figure stuff out, especially when we have that like sign or the like seeking answers and stuff card right here. So I feel like anytime you guys seek anything, like you guys get certain downloads from spirit out of nowhere, certain like revelations that come from like out of the blue, kind of like, you know that expression when it comes out of the blue. So, and it's so funny, both these cards are blue. How funny is that? Anyway, so I do feel like it comes out of the blue, and you guys are very psychic on receiving like certain messages. And so just so you guys know, anytime that you get these kind of like crazy revelations, it's actually what's called a download, and it comes from your higher self, it comes from your guides or angels, it can come from a multitude of different areas, but it's like the fourth dimension and higher is where it kind of comes from. And so I do feel like you guys are very connected, and you do have that ability, and that's a very strong ability for you guys. We also do have these cards over here. We have Share Your Voice, Come Out of the Cave, Persecution, Expression. And so with this card, it's also really talking about kind of what I was talking about. You guys need to learn how to express yourselves a little bit more. I feel like you guys almost expect people to know how you feel, and you almost expect people to know how much you care and how much you appreciate them, but I don't feel like they actually know. So I feel like what you guys need to know is that you need to use your voice a little bit more. Tell people how you really feel. Appreciate things a little bit more, but use that throat chakra. Develop your throat chakra a lot more. We do also have the card of unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. And so you guys are the unbound type of people. You are not chained to anything. You have that freedom, and you're going to continue to have that freedom. You might travel to so many different areas in this lifetime because you have that like unbound nature where you're not going to settle in one place for a long time. You are going to keep moving forward and keep changing up certain things. You guys might be the people that are so nomadic that you change up your job a lot, you change up your relationships a lot, you change up the place that you live a lot. And so I don't feel like you like to be bound to the earth in any type of way or bound to certain commitments. You guys are very non-committal people. We also have the card of sacrifice. And so this card makes me feel like, again, what I was kind of talking about with you guys are able to let go a lot and you guys are able to move on from things a lot, even though you do feel it emotionally, but you're able to kind of sacrifice certain things in order to put yourself where you really feel strongly like you need to go. And it's really good that you also listen to yourself because your soul is leading you somewhere. It's leading you to a place that you need to go. And I feel like you have a strong enough intuition that you feel that. And so you need to continue to listen to that. And anytime that you feel like that ebb and flow, like I need to leave this certain situation and I need to leave this certain city and this particular job and move on to the next thing, even if people might look at you like you're crazy, they might be like, why are you leaving that job? It was such a good job. Why are you leaving the city? Like everyone here loves you and like why would you want to move anywhere else? Just listen to yourself. Sometimes you're gonna have to sacrifice things in this life in order to kind of like do what you need to do and fulfill your purpose. And so you guys definitely need to know that about yourself. You're the type of person that is not going to be bound to certain things for a very long time. And so if things leave your life and you end up being really sad about them, or life tries to change things up on you and you need to move somewhere, you got fired from this job, or this person broke up with you, it's because you're supposed to continue moving forward. You're not supposed to be continually bound by something. You're not supposed to be continually committed to something. Not saying, and that's not to say that you guys will never have pure commitment in your life. You still can, but you are the type of person that you need the freedom along with that. So any type of thing that's too committed is not so good for you. So you guys might need the type of relationship where you need to have that freedom and where they can move along with you and travel with you type of relationship and be able to have that freedom and have a job that allows them to be able to move with you, if that makes sense. So I feel like that's the only time you're going to really be able to find that commitment is having something that allows you that freedom. And so you can have one job for the rest of your life as long as that job also allows you to be able to travel, move here and there, go this, go that way, blah, 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 all those different things. So I also see you guys possibly as business owners when we have that King of Pentacles, because I don't feel like you guys necessarily can find a job that can be permanent that allows you to travel unless you guys can find that. Other than that, you guys are going to be your own business owner type of deal. So we also do have that Five of Cups, the Six of Pentacles, and the Queen of Wands. And so I did cover those cards a little bit, but basically that is like you need that ultimate freedom in your life. You need that ultimate creativity to be able to move here and do this and do that. I feel like you guys also care so much about other people and you guys like to really give to people, but you need to give to people a little bit more, especially with that communication, because they're not really... they don't know how you feel. And so I feel like you guys need to offer a little bit more communication and really express yourself through your throat chakra and in talking and communication. And we also have that Five of Cups, and so you guys do feel things very deeply, whether you guys think you do or not. Things do actually affect you. Even though you feel like you can move on from things right away, they do kind of follow you a little bit. And so you do need to work on not repressing anything and just allowing yourself to move forward, but without repressing it. You guys need to bring it up and deal with certain things, and don't just like leave it down there and then, continue your journey. You guys do need to kind of just like get it out. I'll get it off your chest type of deal and then move forward. So that is what I see for you, pile number 3. All right, moving on to pile number 4. Let's find out what you need to know about yourself that will change you. It's going to change your life. All right, so pile number 4, this is what I'm seeing for you guys. I feel like you guys are very practical people. I feel like you look at the ways of society and you like to stick along with that. But I also feel like you guys repress a lot of your desires in the process of that. And I do feel like you guys might need to shed a little bit of that, because I see... like with the Knight of Pentacles really likes to be practical. He likes to do things the right way. He likes to take his time to do things properly. But when we have the sun right here as well with the strength card, I do see with the sun, you know, he has the red flag right there, ready to express his joy. But then with the strength card, with that same color right there, she's kind of like taming that lion and beast, and you know, kind of like really trying to tame it and not allow it to really be free. And so I feel like you guys have a lot of energy, and this might be sexual energy, this could be creative energy, this could be a little bit more rebel energy and trying to be free and just trying to be like yourself and express who you really are, express your emotions and your feelings in so many different types of ways. But you guys might be repressing it a lot. You guys might be like, no, that's wrong. Society says that this is wrong. Society says that these desires are wrong. Society says that allowing this to come free is not the proper way. It's not the right way of doing things. But I feel like you guys have a little bit too much of that energy. I feel like you guys are restricting yourselves a little bit too much. And whenever we restrict ourselves, when we see in the sun card right here, it finds its way of coming out in some type of way eventually. And so you guys might have these certain outbursts. For example, like when your friends try to get you a little bit drunk, then you might be all of a sudden just like, woo, and like way too expressive, and they might be looking at you like, what? Who is this? What is going on? And so it does find its way to come out eventually. But if you guys don't want these like crazy big outbursts in your life, you guys need to find a balance between, sure, maybe repressing it when you're at work or something, you're supposed to be doing specific things, or repressing it during certain times of the day when you guys really need to focus on your goals, but also allowing it to come out when it needs to come out. Allowing yourself to let the lion roar, allow yourself to let the lion be a lion once in a while. And so I feel like you guys need to learn that. You guys need to learn how to let the lion be a little bit of a lion once in a while, and don't repress it too much. You guys are literally such beautiful people, and I feel like you guys don't need to worry about being too much of a rebel. I don't feel like you guys ever will be a rebel, but you should allow yourself to have a little bit more freedom. Don't constrain yourself too much, because in that constraint, it finds other ways of expressing itself, and that can end up being a little bit toxic if you don't find a good balance, because then you have such a buildup of these desireful energies that don't have an outlet, and they find other ways of bursting out of you. And so it can show up in a multitude of different ways. We won't get into that, but just know you need a good balance unless you want it to somehow manifest in a different way. So with all that glitters card right here, you guys have such a gorgeous energy inside, and you guys need to let it shine once in a while, especially with that sun card. It's like it correlates so much. You guys have so much beauty underneath, but you guys need to allow that creative expression to come through. And this also includes, and I'm sorry if you guys, those of you who are not of age yet, so kind of just ignore this one until you kind of get of that age. With that sexual energy, that also needs to have its way of kind of like coming out. That can come out in a creative way as well. You can use sexual energy as a creative energy as well. So if you guys don't want to go and be a promiscuous person or anything like that, and you guys want to be a little bit more abstinent, which is a good thing for some people, you guys need a different way of expressing your creativity, of expressing that sexual energy. Sexual energy is literally just kind of like creative energy. And so what you guys need to do is take up some type of like artistic creative hobby. Start painting, start writing, start drawing, start making music, start singing, start dancing, anything like that to kind of like get that energy out of there so that it has a way of expressing itself. So you guys don't need to restrain yourself so much because it can cause other kind of like things. You guys need to let yourself shine. You guys need to let yourself take the spotlight once in a while and allow your treasure, because you have this treasure energy inside of you that currently is being a little bit too repressed. You need to allow it to be like and shine its greatness, like be bold with it too. You guys have such a beautiful creative energy. Don't repress it so much. You can even allow it to come out in your work if that's what you're really focused on. So allow this creative energy to even fall out into your goals and into your work, and allow yourself to be a little bit more creative, and don't be so strict on yourself. Allow the creativity to flow. And so we also have the card here of orphaned. And so with this card, you guys might feel a little bit left out. You guys might feel like no one else really understands you. No one else understands why you are the way you are. Maybe you feel a little bit alone in the way that you are. But trust me, you are such a glitterful, gorgeous person. Also with this orphan card, I'm also getting the vibes. We're talking a little bit about the fact that you're repressing a lot. I feel like that energy literally has nowhere to go. And it feels like it almost can manifest in a depression. It can manifest in sadness, because you're literally like hiding the glitter, you're hiding the gold, you're hiding the treasure in a closet. And in a closet, this gold and this glitter and this treasure can't shine. So it becomes sad, it becomes depressed because it's not living out its purpose. It's not living out what it's meant to do. And so what you guys need to do is find a good balance. Stop restricting yourself so much and find a good balance. Allow this glitter to shine. And so it doesn't feel like it's left in the dark. So it doesn't feel like it is orphaned. Because literally when certain energies feel like they have no way of expressing, they can literally start to express themselves in depression and sadness. And so if you guys ever feel those emotions out of nowhere, you feel like crying out of nowhere, it's because you're repressing too much. And you need to allow yourself to be yourself. You need to allow that creativity to shine. You need to allow yourself to feel and I don't know why I keep returning to the subject. I really always try to keep my channel very PG, but I keep getting this message that there's like some type of sexual energy that you guys are repressing just a little bit too much, and you guys just need to let it out. And that doesn't mean you now need to go out and like sleep with a bunch of people. That is not what I'm saying in this at all. But you need to find a way to accept yourself, accept your sexuality, and accept who you are, accept that you are a sexual being, and it's not a sin to be that. I don't know why I keep wanting to say that. I always try to keep my channel PG, so if you guys are not of age, and that's totally not like along the lines, but I feel like some of you guys who are watching this video like really need to hear that. Allow yourself to feel good. Allow yourself to dress a little bit sexy maybe. Allow yourself to kind of like be a little bit more feminine or a little bit more masculine, depending on if you're a guy or a girl or what your preference is. Allow yourself to kind of allow that energy to kind of like come out. Don't restrict yourself so much. Don't always dress super businessy. Maybe don't dress super like covered up all the time, and just allow yourself to kind of just shine a little bit. Like go put on a bikini or go put on like a tuxedo and go out, have fun, you know, whatever kind of your preference is. We also have the card here of earth magic with fairies. And so with this card right here, I'm also getting the vibes that, you know, you guys have this such a beautiful light angelic energy, and I feel like you guys are surrounded by many different other like entities and beings and spirits that are also rooting for you and helping you try to, you know, stop repressing yourself. And just so you guys know, if you guys are worried about society judging you in a certain way, they won't. They literally look at you right now as this perfect angelic being, this innocent being. And so if you guys decide to express a little bit more of your mature nature and your more adult nature, you guys can get my drift on that. People will still look at you as such an angelic being. They'll still look at you as like a magical, like perfect person, because you guys really hold that energy very well, but you guys do need to express a little bit more of your creativity. Then we do also have the card here of wellness. The recovery of health and wellness is here. And so just so you guys know, because another message that I was getting from this, if you guys repress a lot of your energy too much and restrict yourself too much, when that energy starts to turn into depression and sadness because it's not having an outlet and it has nowhere to go, and it's just a buildup of excess of energy with nowhere to go, it's kind of like a clogged pipe, it can create health issues down the road. And so if you guys do manifest certain health issues, it actually comes from that repressed energy. If you guys have ever experienced health issues in this lifetime already, it's coming from that repressed energy. And so what you guys need to do is start to express that energy a little bit more, and you won't run into health issues, and you're also going to cure current health issues if you have any. And so they'll go away once you start allowing yourself to express and to stop restricting and just have a good balance in your life. Then we also have the card there. Already there is value. And so if you guys are trying to gain value by showing society what you have and trying to attain certain goals and to try and be perfect, you need to know you already have value. You already have attained so much. You've already proven so much in your life already, no matter how young or old that you are. You've already proven your worthiness. And so you need to know you can have this balance, and you can now express your more creative side without people looking at you as a bad person. And so if you're worried about people judging you for expressing the more creative side or the more sexual side of yourself, you need to know you already have value with who you are and what you've already accomplished and what you've already done and what you already have value in. You already have good value. And so now you can be yourself, you can be authentic, you can let yourself shine, you can let that glitter out of the closet, you can be a little bit more fun, and people are still going to look at you as a very valuable person. So you don't need to worry about losing your value in expressing yourself. So we do also have these cards here. This is Imrama, where are you being called to journey to? And so I feel like you guys have this like kind of like underlying knowing that you guys need to kind of break free from certain patterns and certain things and let them go. We also do have starseed, what lights you up. And so you guys are total starseeds. You need to look at what makes you really happy, what makes you really shine, what makes you really glitter, and stop restricting it, because once you let it out, you're gonna light up, and you're gonna light up all that treasure, you're gonna light up all that glitter, and everyone's gonna look at you and they're gonna be like, whoa, you are literally a treasure chest shining your amazing gold and your amazing, beautiful, like, wow. Like, whoo, this is a really powerful one. I'm really feeling this reading for some reason, like, whoo. We also do have right here the owl. The owl is nocturnal, lest we forget. And so the owl likes to come out at night. So maybe even at night, allow your creative energies to shine, allow them to come out, allow them to come out of the closet and finally be noticed, you know, allow the spotlight to shine, even if it's at night. So during the day, if you need to be professional and you need to hold up that professional quality, that's fine. Allow it to come out at night at least, or allow it to come out at a certain time of day where you're not going to feel bad about it, I guess. The point is of feeling good about it, allowing this energy to come out when it needs to, and whatever you feel comfortable with, but make it a good balance though. And so also with the owl, he has such good knowledge, and so I feel like you guys actually have such a deep knowing of so many different things. You're able to see things in the dark, you're able to see things for what they are, you're able to look at people and kind of notice things that people don't even see, because owls also have that night vision. They're able to see at night, whereas a lot of people can't. So I do feel like you guys have quite an active third eye as well. You're able to look into the unknown and pick out things and see things that other people have a lack of seeing as well. The last few cards that we have here, we have the Six of Wands, the Eight of Swords, and the Nine of Wands. I feel like you guys, you know, you've been through a lot. You've already been through so many different experiences and so many different things. And so you guys have gained, and you guys are almost ready and prepared for the next thing to come along. And I feel like it's also maybe a reason why you restrict yourself, but it's no need to restrict yourself any longer. It's time to come out of the woods, wear your scars proudly and beautifully, and don't allow them to hold you back. Just because you have a scarred heart doesn't mean you can't open up your heart again. Just because you have a scar in your arm doesn't mean you can't go into battle again and fight for what you really want and get what you want, you know? The scars help make you stronger, because scarred tissue is actually stronger than regular tissue. If you've ever noticed that, it actually comes back stronger. Even though it's like a little bit like of an odd, like, might look, some people think scars are hot, but a lot of people look at it like, oh no, I'm scarred, my skin, it's gross. But it's actually like, no, it's beautiful. It's stronger than before. So, yeah. We also do have the Eight of Swords. This also talks about restriction, because the swords are actually surrounding the person. They don't really show it as well in this deck of cards, but in the Rider-Waite, it's being very restricted. And so it's again talking about those restrictions. Allow yourself to be free. Just because you've been scarred, don't cage yourself up. Just because you've had a bad experience once, don't put yourself in a box and not let yourself experience anymore. Sometimes we go out and try to do something, and maybe we're not good at it at first, and we have a bad experience, and then we close ourselves off and say, nope, never again. Never again. It's almost like going to a restaurant and trying like maybe sushi for the first time, but maybe that restaurant didn't make it very good, and so you tried it and you're like, oh no, I'm never gonna eat sushi again, it was horrible. Maybe you just got yourself the wrong roll, or maybe they didn't make it right. So allow yourself to try things a couple times until you really decide whether or not you want to do it. And so don't box yourself up just because you've had a bad experience once. The last card that we have is the Six of Wands, and so this is talking about an accomplishment. I feel like once you guys get rid of those restrictions and you really let yourself shine, the Six of Wands talks about shining and people praising you and people looking up to you. So if you worry about people looking down on you, don't worry. They're gonna be looking up to you. They're gonna be like, oh my God, you are shining. You're amazing, creative, like gorgeous abilities. And they're gonna look up to you for that, because I feel like you're gonna be able to balance it so well, since you have this practical side, this go-getter side, this doer side, and you've already accomplished so much. If you allow your creative side to now shine and all that glitter that you have within, I feel like everyone's going to look up to you and be like, wow, this person literally has it all and is such a well-rounded, beautiful person. I feel like you're going to be really praised for it, in fact. So that is what I see for you guys. I also feel like it's going to bring you so much more confidence. With the Six of Wands, it also talks about a new level of confidence, a new level of security in yourself, and people really see your confidence after that, and they look up to you for that. So that is what I'm seeing for you guys, pile number 4. All right, moving on to our last pile. Pile number 5, yeah, that's pile number 5. I almost said pile number 6, but that's definitely pile number 5 over there. Let's find out what you guys don't know about yourselves that you need to know that's going to change your life. All right, pile number 5, this is what I'm seeing for you guys. I did add a couple more tarot cards onto this pile because I was a little bit confused on where this one was going and I didn't want to like give a wrong message or something, and so I totally added some more cards on here to kind of get a little bit of a clearer message. And I'm getting the message that maybe you guys, so you can attain things. You can kind of almost attain whatever you want with this Knight of Cups card. You can get pretty much anything that you wish for, but I feel like right when you receive it, right when you get handed it, you almost like maybe self-sabotage it because you don't feel maybe like you're worthy, or all of a sudden you get it and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know if like this is for me, and like all these different thoughts might run through your head, and there might be some type of reason why it ends up kind of almost falling away pretty much right when you get it. So if that resonates with you, I feel like you guys need to allow yourself a little bit more freedom. You guys need to realize your worth, especially with that Page of Pentacles. I feel like you guys don't know that you are actually worthy of so much. And you guys might have some disappointment, some repetitive disappointment patterns going on that you guys need to fix, because you are actually worthy, and you guys need to know that you are actually so worthy of the things that come into your life. And you need to take on this more Queen of Pentacles energy. She knows her worth. She knows she's worth anything that she asks for. She knows that she's worth anything that she receives and more. And so I feel like you guys really need to know that, and I feel like you guys need to look within in order to see that when we have this Hermit card. So you guys need to look at yourselves, do some self-reflection. And so even if you've made mistakes in the past, even if you've done certain things in the past, or maybe if you're still a young person and you're like, do I really deserve all these things that I'm getting, or is it really time for me to get this and that and whatever? I feel like you guys need to do some self-reflection, and realize that you guys are so worth anything that you guys can receive, and that you guys aren't young people. You're actually very old souls who have had many lifetimes, and you're a multidimensional being that lives on so many different dimensions already, that you're all ages combined into one, essentially. And so you guys literally deserve so much. You deserve everything that you desire. And so do some self-reflection and realize what you desire, why you desire it, and when you receive something, allow it to be. Allow it to come. Allow it to stay with you. Don't just self-sabotage it right away when you get it. So we also do have the Yin card right here. And so I feel like you guys are really good at imagining. You guys are really good at being like, okay, let's manifest this and let's do this. I feel like you guys have a lot of desires. I feel like you guys can feel things very well, but then we have also this time factor with this tick-tock right here. And so you guys might be looking at it and maybe it takes a little bit too long to come to you, so you get disappointed and stop working with the law of attraction. So maybe some of you guys might not even receive what you're trying to attract, because you guys might be working with the law of attraction and doing it so often, but then with time, when it doesn't pop up in your life right away, you might get disappointed in it, and you might self-sabotage it right when you were about to receive it. And so what you guys need to learn is to have patience with time, allow time to be, allow time to do its thing, and know that things also come in divine timing as well. So sometimes we don't receive something right away because the universe is like, okay, if you want to receive it in this type of way and you want to have the energy to be able to hold on to it, not self-sabotage it, sometimes the universe is going to take its time giving it to you and give you certain lessons instead to show you, okay, you need to learn this, and you need to learn this, and you need to learn this. And then that's when you're now ready to receive what you want and have the energy to be able to hold it in this higher vibration and keep it a lot longer and have the experience with it that you've wanted to have with it, because you've needed to learn certain things beforehand as well. So just know it's the process of life. We also do have a 3 right here and a 3 right here, and 3s also talk about celebration and joy. And so you guys need to enjoy the experience. You guys need to enjoy the journey before you receive something. You need to enjoy it when you get it as well, and feel worthy of it, and know and celebrate that you are worthy of this. The only reason why you attain something is because you are worthy of it. So just know, anytime you receive something, it's because you are worthy of it. And so don't self-sabotage it. And then also know that if you have certain desires for things, you are worthy of those desires. Sometimes they take a little bit of time, and that's okay. Don't get disappointed in it and then ruin it, because disappointment, when you're using the law of attraction, all of a sudden pushes the thing away right when you were about to get it. And then all of a sudden some disappointment might come in because of the time, and it's like, I was about to receive it in 3 days, but you had no idea, and you're just like, it's not working. The law of attraction is just like not working for me. It never works for me, blah. And then all of a sudden the thing that you almost got is now just like gone. So just know this, guys. You are so worthy of it, and be patient, because you guys can receive any of your desires and create anything that you want. The next card that we have here is the volcano, volatility. So volatility. That's the word, volatility. So with this card right here, don't allow yourself to be destructive, because right now I'm getting the vibes that you guys receive and then maybe have a bit of a self-destructive behavior behind certain things because maybe you don't feel worthy. All these different types of emotions might come in. And then also sometimes you don't receive things, and then it's a little bit of like oh my gosh, the law of attraction doesn't work, blah, blah, blah. But those negative emotions create more of that. So if you guys think that the law of attraction never works for you, then you're right. Then the law of attraction never does work for you. Whatever you believe, that's your reality. So change your belief systems. Realize that the law of attraction does work for you. It has been working for you this whole time. The fact that whatever you affirm to yourself keeps occurring proves to you that the law of attraction does work, and that it is working for you constantly. So just know you guys can change what you believe in and change your reality like that. So we also do have the card here of socialize or join in. Make healthy and supportive new friendships and connections by getting involved with a group of like-minded people. So if you want to start attracting things, if you want to start using the law of attraction, if you want to start keeping what you have and feeling worthy of stuff, surround yourself by the people that also have the same mindset of like being worthy and knowing that the law of attraction works and feeling good and feeling like they deserve things. Surround yourself with those people, and you're going to start to take on that mindset as well. And if you have any like destructive friendships, if you have any negative friendships that are negative influences or keep influencing you of the same kind of things over and over again, like the law of attraction doesn't work, or you're not worthy, or you don't deserve that, we don't deserve that, blah, blah, blah. If you surround yourself with those people that also think that of themselves and for you, you're going to keep staying in that same energy. So if you want to change, start to surround yourself by the people that inspire what you strive to be like. And you're going to start to take on that mindset and those energies and start to receive things on a very beautiful level. And it doesn't mean that you can't be friends with your old friends or anything like that, but what you need to learn is this new mindset, and then you can also inspire other people to be that way. And then once you're strong enough in that, you can be friends with anybody without having their influence change who you now are. So just so you guys know, we do also have the card here of searing presence. And so with this card, I do feel like you're being guided right now. I feel like you're being guided by certain angels. You have certain beings around you that are trying to help you at this time and that keep talking to you and telling you things. And you might get little ideas and little inspirations here and there. You might have clicked on this video because of a calling to it in order to watch this certain reading. And that's being guided by your angels and ancestors and your higher self as well. Then we also do have the card here of protection. Call back your power, cut the cords, soul retrieval. And so call back your power, call back your worthiness. If anyone has told you you're not worthy, or if anyone has made you feel like you're not worthy, or has told you that, cut those cords, cut those ties, call back your power. Because you are such a powerful being, but maybe right now you don't feel that power because so many people have told you that you are not, but you are. And even if you have told yourself that, cut those cords, cut those belief patterns, cut those old ties. Those no longer serve you. It's time to cut those out of your life and tell yourself you are worthy. You are so much more worthy than you could ever imagine. And start to tell yourself that instead, because that is what the truth actually is. Next card that we have is the Priestess card. How are you being called to step up and lead? Right now, you're being called to step up and lead. Stop being a follower. Stop telling yourself you aren't worthy. Stop listening to what other people's opinions of you are. Just listen to yourself, and also stop being harsh on yourself as well. So don't listen to yourself yet if you're still harsh on yourself. Change your mindset first. Tell yourself you are worthy. Reaffirm those things and start to listen to only that. And start to only tell yourself those types of things, and lead yourself in the direction that you actually really want to go, a direction that really serves you and serves your desires and wants and needs. We also have the card, the arrow. So get this pinpoint focus and start to focus on what's positive and only focus on that direction. Stop focusing on the negative. Sometimes those things creep up because we are human. We can't control every single thought that we have, and that is okay. Sometimes certain patterns reappear, but just keep reminding yourself of the direction that you now want to go, the worthiness of who you really are. Let that warrior side out and pinpoint what you really want. Use that arrow and imagine like a string coming off from inside of you, and almost shoot this arrow to an area of your life where you want to go. So focus on, wealth, abundance, prosperity, love, all those types of things. Take that arrow and shoot it in that direction, and imagine that cord now leading you to your goal and to your direction, and allow it to lead you there. So I don't know why I got that message. I've never said that before in my life, and I've never used that analogy before in my life, but that just like somehow came out of nowhere. But I do think that would be a really amazing, positive way of now creating new cords that take you to where you want to go instead of leading you to where you haven't wanted to go. The last 3 cards that we have is the Two of Cups, the Justice, and the Star. And so with the Two of Cups, surround yourself by people who support you. Surround yourself by people who are positive and who have the same mindset that you want to now have. And then also treat yourself how you want to be treated. And be kind to yourself. We also do have the Justice card. Only listen to what's really true. Your current belief systems, if they are negative, are not true. You make up what is true for you. Whatever you tell yourself will be your reality. So start to tell yourself what you want your reality to be like and start to believe those things, and it will literally change who you are. We also have the card, the Star. You are literally being divinely guided. It's now time to kind of balance your chakras, look into chakra cleansing, cleanse some old negativity, cut old cords, cut old belief patterns that weren't serving you. Anything negative, cut those things away. Only focus on the positive. And then also, use your intuition a little bit more. And I'm also seeing in this that you guys need to cleanse yourselves. So in this, I'm kind of picturing showering, and when you're in the shower next time, kind of imagine the water now cleansing out any old gunk, any old belief patterns, any old negativity. Imagine it washing itself down the drain. I'm kind of also getting that vibe. And then shoot that arrow to where you want to go and allow that arrow to lead you with that cord, and only keep following that cord. Even if you don't really see where the journey is going to take you, just only focus that arrow on what you now want, all that love, prosperity, abundance, anything that you want. Literally shoot it, hit it on that target, and then just follow that cord leading you to that area of life. And so that is what I'm seeing for you, pile number 5. So that is all for today's video. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, don't forget to give it a really big thumbs up for me, and hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already, and that little notification bell off to the side if you guys want to be notified every time I upload a video. I upload multiple a week, and sometimes YouTube does not like to notify people when new uploads occur. So if you guys don't want to miss an upload of mine, definitely hit that little notification bell, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.